final trailer for Transformers The Last Night just dropped yesterday, and I'm going to break this thing down for you guys, let you know what I found, what I thought, most likely some theories in there. And again, there is that potential for spoilers. This is all conjecture on my part, so let's get started. The trailer starts out with a scene that we've pretty much already seen. It's in this junkyard that we assume is owned by Mark Wahlberg's character, Cade Yeager, and he's yelling at this character named Jimmy because Grimlock is out walking around, and we assume that Cade hired Jimmy to basically babysit the Dinobots, or at least Grimlock. And I guess he's not doing a good job because Grimlock's out walking around eating cars. And the only thing that I actually enjoy about this scene, or at least from this trailer, is the fact that they say Grimlock's name. They never mentioned his name in the first or in the last movie, Age of Extinction. So it's nice to hear them actually using Grimlock's name. Then we get the scene that we've pretty much already seen most of these shots in previous trailers, clips of Isabella and the kids from the stadium, the Silverdome, running away from the human sentries, the robots. And Mark Wahlberg comes out, he shoots, doesn't do much damage, but Bumblebee comes out and destroys one of them. Again, we've already seen most of this stuff, so it's nothing new. I do have to say though, I think the kids are going to get really annoying really fast, especially the kid that's like, I'm going to hotwire this car. It's like, you're 11, maybe 12 years old max, and you know how to hotwire a car. You don't even know how to drive a car. It's annoying to me. I feel like Michael Bay, like I said before, watched Stranger Things, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to put kids in my movies because that sells tickets. We do, however, get this beautiful shot of Bumblebee kind of rolling over and kind of looking off beyond the camera. It's a nice shot, that's for sure. Cade looks like he's out of breath in this shot. This is either after like he's been running away from Decepticons, or maybe after that fight scene where Bumblebee takes out that robot and saves the kids. I don't know, but Cogman shows up and says you're needed. And I just wonder how they're going to get them over to England, because I'm assuming that's where Anthony Hopkins' character, Sir Edmund Burton, lives. Because, I mean, he's got an English accent, and the rest of the movie, I believe, is set over there in Europe. So, you know, that's where King Arthur was. That's where the rest of the movie is going to take place, I'm assuming. But yeah, I just wonder how they're going to get there. Does Cogman have like the space bridge technology on him, kind of like what Jetfire did? Is that going to happen? We'll have to see. And then we get this Hot Rod scene, which I'm still excited about because I love the character Hot Rod. I hope that they actually do something with his character and not just make him a one-off character like Dino or even Sideswipe. I know he was in 2 movies, but still, he was kind of a one-off character. He didn't do much at all. He was just in the background. I hope they don't do that to Hot Rod. I hope he's a pivotal character because he should be. He was in the original 1984 movie, so he should definitely be very important to the story. Then we get this shot of the grassy mountains, and I did notice this the first time. I didn't point it out, but this is a ship that's crashed into the mountainside, and you can see like the jet engines, and it looks like maybe Merlin or King Arthur is going inside of this giant ship. And one thing I have to point out, on the cast list on IMDb, the guy playing King Arthur is the same guy who played King Arthur from Once Upon a Time. Now, I don't know if that excites you or scares you, but it scares me because I did watch Once Upon a Time for a little while there, and it just got annoying, and it just got old, and it was the same thing over and over again. It's like, okay, come on. And the fact that Transformers is taking a character from that show and making them the same, bringing the actor along with that character. What? This shot is very interesting to me for several reasons. One, this is an old man who I believe is Merlin because he's being given a staff with what looks like magical powers. And he's being given it by a big red transformer. Now, I don't know who this is for sure, but I have 2 theories. One is more likely, the other is not. The first, I'm pretty sure it's Dragonstorm, the three-headed dragon, just because, you know, he's there in that time period that we've seen in the trailers. My other theory is it's Ultra Magnus, maybe even Hot Rod, but that seems too big to be Hot Rod. Ultra Magnus would be awesome for them to find a way to get Ultra Magnus in there somehow to where he might even come back later on in the movie or in a later movie. I don't know. But it's most likely Dragonstorm. He's red. Not that we've seen any red on Dragonstorm, but we haven't had a really good, clean shot of Dragonstorm yet. What we have seen, he does not look red. He's just like that dark gray, metallic looking color. So, you know, this, I honestly don't know who this is. But if you guys have theories, let me know in the comment section below. But we do get this shot of Dragonstorm right after that shot. So it could be Dragonstorm. But this thing right to the right of the frame, I don't think it's a shield or sword or armor. I think it is a transformer, maybe one of the knights, because it moves like a body part. It's very subtle, it's a very short clip, but I honestly think it's a body part of a transformer. Who, I don't know, but that's just a very broad theory. Then we get all this medieval battle stuff that we've pretty much already seen, and Anthony Hopkins saying the secret history of Transformers. But we do get this new shot of Dragonstorm. Again, he's pretty focused in this trailer, a few times at least. And if you look really closely, it looks like somebody might be riding him. There's really only two people that I can think of that would be riding him. That would be either King Arthur or Merlin. It's too small to be another Transformer character, so it's got to be a human. But that would be kind of cool to have Merlin or King Arthur riding Dragonstorm. But if you really pay attention, he does not have that red color, so that previous Transformer may not be Dragonstorm. Still up for debate. And here are several shots that we've seen. Not that they're bad shots, but we've already seen them and I don't need to talk about them. But Anthony Hopkins does say, to save our future, you must unlock the past. And then we get this just amazing shot of Optimus. After he kills one knight, he stabs another knight in the back. Now, he's mind controlled, so it's not like honorable Optimus. I mean, not that Optimus has ever really been honorable in the other movies, but I don't think he would just stab another Transformer in the back. But, you know, he is trying to be quiet, I guess, about it. But my goodness, that shot is beautiful at the end of him just like standing there, all heroic and villainous at the same time. It's just, wow, it's awesome. We also get this new shot of Bumblebee. It looks like he was maybe thrown across this big ship, but the way he lands, and he's got the Forge of Solus Prime, that hammer, but he puts on his face mask, and it's just a really good looking shot. There's going to be a lot of that in this movie, I hope, and it looks like it. So it looks like Bumblebee throws the hammer, the Forge of Solus Prime, at Optimus Prime's face. I still am under the impression that he's trying to beat Optimus back into being Optimus again, and with the Forge of Solus Prime, that is more likely to happen, I guess. Again, I don't know the power of the Forge of Solus Prime, so if you guys know it, let me know, because I want to know. I know I could look it up, but I'd like to hear from you guys. This shot has definitely been updated from the first time we saw it in the, I think it was the first trailer, when Optimus Prime says, "Forgive me," and then he stabs Bumblebee, or tries to stab Bumblebee. You know, it just looks sharper. It's just, it's beautiful. Then we get this short scene of Bumblebee facing off and racing against Barricade, and it's nice that we're finally getting the rematch of that scene from the first one. It's what we've been wanting since that scene. That transformation looks awesome. It's only like half, or not even half, it's like a quarter of Bumblebee transforming just to face off against Barricade. And what I like about that is they are getting more creative with the transformations. Like, they don't have to transform all the way. And we saw a little bit of that in Dark of the Moon, it's just like their battle mode while driving. They half transform and a gun comes out and they can shoot. It's kind of like that, and I like that they're revisiting that. Then we get a new shot of the TIE bombers things. I call them TIE bombers because they have the same type of wings, but they shoot at this character Jimmy and he goes flying through the wall, and you get this interchange of like, what are you doing? I'm dying. They're trying too hard with the humor. Again, no surprise, but it's still disappointing. So this shot is, I know it's already been confirmed and it's already been discussed on other people's channels, but this definitely shows in the trailers that this is the ship that we have seen in that banner of Optimus kind of holding a sword facing off, what looks like he's facing off against Dragonstorm. You see the ship in the background. We had no idea what any of this stuff meant when we first saw that, and now that we've seen all these trailers, it's like, oh, that's all that stuff. The pieces of Cybertron / Unicron, still don't know exactly who it is or what it is. We see that in the banner as well. It's just kind of cool that they put that stuff right there and we didn't know what it was. Then we get this beautiful shot of Quintessa, and I have a feeling that this is going to be like a POV shot, a point of view shot from Optimus when he's waking up and he's been captured by Quintessa. Who knows? This is just a theory of mine, but it is a beautiful shot. And I do have some theories about this whole thing with Quintessa and the possibility of Unicron, because in the original movie, Megatron is pretty much killed and he's floating in outer space. In this one, it looks like Optimus is pretty much killed and he's floating in space. In the original Transformers movie, Megatron is saved by Unicron and is changed into Galvatron. In this one, it looks like Optimus is saved by Quintessa and turned into mind-controlled evil Optimus. I don't know, I see a lot of parallels in there. Maybe Quintessa can control Unicron. I don't know. So that's my theories about that. I still think it would be a good idea for them to hint at Unicron or someone much worse than Megatron at the end of this, because they do have a few more movies planned, and it would make for a great story, finally a cohesive storyline for the Transformers movies, to kind of be like Marvel and be like, hey, there is an overarching villain that is eventually going to come into play here, and he's going to kick some serious butt. And here we see that they've hit a target, and it looks like it's pretty much like the core of Cybertron / Unicron. I'm still going to keep saying that because we don't know really what or who it is. And we won't know until the movie comes out. And it's interesting that they're firing at this. It kind of looks like a heart with these arteries coming out. Again, we get these amazing shots of Megatron. He's looking awesome. But look at this shot. He looks like he's in the junkyard where Cade and Grimlock and that character Jimmy and eventually Isabella, it looks like he's there because you see all these cars around, and that would be very cool to see Megatron facing off against Grimlock. I would love to see that, just one-on-one. I would absolutely love to see Megatron try and take on each and every one of the Autobots. I think that would be so incredible. So Josh Duhamel's character, Captain Lennox, or I don't know what rank he's going to be in this movie, but he's saying hang on, so apparently he's going to be in one of those crashing Ospreys. He's most likely going to survive because it's Josh Duhamel. They can't kill him off, at least not that simply. He'll have to have a much more heroic death. Now this shot is pretty freaking awesome. It's Optimus versus who we assume is Infernicus. That's what I think his name is. Optimus tries to do this back slice, and just as he's about to make contact, Infernicus like splits up into the 6 smaller guys that we eventually see him slice off his heads. I have a feeling that it's going to be much harder to kill this character than just slicing off a few of their heads. They're just going to reassemble. That fight scene is just going to be awesome, I think. Just the fact that this character can split apart and reassemble on command that quickly before he's about to get killed, I think that's cool, and I'm excited to see what more they can do with it beyond this shot. Now this shot is the most interesting to me in this entire trailer, because as I said earlier, it would be amazing to see Megatron fighting against all the Autobots. And it looks like we might get it earlier in the trailer with Megatron versus Grimlock, and looks like we most likely get it with Megatron versus Hound. And in the background you could see Hot Rod. So what I find interesting about it is Hot Rod doesn't look like he's too concerned for Hound. He's behind Megatron, but he's not running at Megatron. It's kind of looking like he's running around. Maybe he's trying to get a better angle at Megatron, I don't know, but maybe Hot Rod turns bad. I honestly don't know, but you know, it's just interesting, and I'm excited for this scene because Megatron looks like he's about to kill Hound. And if they're going to kill off a character, I think it could be either, you know, Hound, Drift, or Crosshairs. And those are the easy ones. They could kill off anyone, really, at this point, because they've had 5 movies, and it's time that they start reshuffling the deck. Or at least maybe even get a new deck of cards, of characters. But yeah, this scene is going to be awesome, and it's confirming it's affirming my hope that Megatron is going to be the main villain. And that excites me because it's been a while since Megatron was the main villain. And this was shot of Grimlock swinging his tail and hitting Barricade. Yes, that is Barricade, because if you pause it at a certain spot, you can see that it's him, and you can read the punish part on his knuckles. And man, Barricade just gets wiped out in this scene. It's pretty awesome. And then we get Grimlock doing his fire breath. It's cool. We've seen it, but I'm more interested in that first part where he swings his tail and just knocks Barricade on his butt. We get this scene of what looks like Bumblebee coming to rescue Cade after he gets captured by all the bad humans. And he has this transformation that looks so awesome, but then it's ruined so quickly by him falling apart into pieces, and everyone thinks that he's dead because his eyes hanging out, his head's off. But then he has these like Iron Giant type powers where he can piece himself back together. It's cool, but it's like, really? That's such a stretch. And I didn't like it at all. Like I said, it's way too similar to Iron Giant and even Iron Man 3, where it's like he's piecing himself together. It's like that. He didn't have that in the last 4 movies. Optimus definitely didn't have it. Optimus had his arm chopped off. Where was that kind of ability? I don't like it. There are no stakes for the character of Bumblebee. If he can just be torn to shreds and then piece himself back together, it's like, well, he's not going to be killed. There's no way. And then we get the last shot of Bumblebee kind of hitting his chest like, yo, I got you. But that's pretty much the trailer. In my opinion, it was underwhelming. It was, however, more focused on Bumblebee, which is both good and bad, because, you know, if we have to listen to him talking through the radio for the entire movie, it's going to get older faster. It gets old in every movie, but this movie, if they keep doing that, it's going to get much older. It's going to get older much quicker. Yeah, this trailer was definitely underwhelming for me. I loved the last trailer. That trailer was awesome. This one doesn't quite do it for me. I mean, they do show a lot of cool stuff in it, but the trailer overall as one thing doesn't do much for me because we've already seen most of what they showed, and just the way that it's done. And that last shot of Bumblebee, or that last scene of Bumblebee piecing himself together, it's just, why? I don't get why they would even consider doing that. It doesn't make sense. It's like he got the technology from KSI of when those other, I forget what they were called, the prototypes were able to just like materialize and then form a robot. I hated that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people hated that because it was just a cheap way for transforming them from car to robot. And this is like kind of in-between type of thing for them to do. Like, hey, we can tear Bumblebee apart and piece them back together so we don't really have to show the car parts moving. I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm still definitely excited for this movie. I'm getting ready to review the first 4 Transformers movies and then give you guys my top 10 things of what I really want to see in this new movie, Transformers The Last Knight. So be on the lookout for those videos coming out the next couple weeks. And Karen and I are still going to do a Q&A video soon, so if you guys have any questions for us, let us know in the comments section or even a private message, whatever. You can ask us anything, like what kind of equipment we use, what we do for a living. Pretty much anything's on the table. We'll take several dozen questions or so and answer them on video for you guys. And yeah, there's a lot of videos coming out soon, so be on the lookout. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of when we upload new content. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.